Hi, everybody. I'm Kare Possick. Welcome to Kare's High Frequency Wellness. And oh boy, do I have a treat for you today. I have Steve Lepkowski, new friend of mine, we've just had so much fun talking together that I just really thought you'd love to hear these conversations that we've been having about energy, about high frequency energy, about what it actually is. One of my favorite quotes is, if you want to find out the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Nikola Tesla. And that's what it's all about. Everything has a frequency, everything has an energy. And Steve Lepkowski calls himself the Rablat and founder of Body Align, which is all about energy. And I love it. And Steve, welcome. And I'm so glad you could come and talk with us today.
Kara, thank you for having me today. What a fantastic day. It's absolutely beautiful sunshine out here. And I'm in Wendell, North Carolina today, celebrating what one of my aspirations is to work with companies and check out cell towers. I'm up in my green vest, my hard hat, and I go interrogate cell towers all over this area, Raleigh, Durham, and all the way up the East Coast. And I do that because I want to see what's going on. I want to understand what these companies are doing to us in these cell towers. But let me build on Nikola Tesla. It wasn't too long ago, in April, about 6 years ago, we found the Higgs boson. Now that's the God particle, right?
Wait, say that word again.
The Higgs boson, which is the God particle, which is a particle that, for us to understand that everything that we knew up to then was based on something that we assumed, but we could never prove it. Well, this blew us out of the water when scientists got to it and said, wait a minute, this is unique, because Einstein said that energy is equal to mass divided by or mass times the speed of light squared, right? It was incredible. One little piece of mass could create all this energy. The Higgs says, no, no, no. Energy creates mass. So mass equals energy divided by the speed of light squared. So any scientist will tell you, energy made mass. Einstein had
made everything.
Amen. So all of us, the lights went off for me, and I started to see the world very differently. And as a scientist, if I couldn't put my finger on it or I couldn't identify it, I just said it wasn't real, right? Luckily, I'm a Christian, and I'm always drawn to things that allow me to have faith without being able to see or feel or hear, right? So my senses were useless. But Kara, what I got into was the study of how energy impacts the biology on the body.
Absolutely.
You start that journey, you just open it up. You consider this fact: 2/3 of the world's population believe that energy wellness is way more important than chemical wellness.
Absolutely. I'm one of those.
Amen. Amen. So I may not be the smartest person in the room, but I guarantee you, if 2/3 of the population, somebody there smarter than you and I, right, in that population, and they wake every morning and they go to bed every night believing that energy fundamentally makes them healthier, makes them have a better quality of life every day.
But I counsel people. I've been in natural healing and energy medicine for more than 50 years. And I counsel people every day about their health. And when I talk about high frequency wellness, what's the energy like? What's the quality of their food? How energetic is it? They just don't get what I'm talking about.
It's really hard if you don't open your mind up to understanding that there are other forces. When I hit my highest vibration, I'm in a position where I see the world differently. When you are in a stoplight or you're somewhere, okay, and all of a sudden your mind is kind of gone for a moment, or you're laying in bed, or you're deep in prayer, your mind is gone somewhere. Welcome to significant high vibration. Welcome to it. And you'll start to excite about that if you think about, wow, what's going on? It's your body giving you access to that higher frequency, and it's what you do and how you start to drive that. My first example, I was at a acupuncturist and just checking it out because I was interested in energy and biology. And it wasn't long before I could feel my body in a different state, in a different world. And I'm like, I get it. Now I can move to that, or I can have desires during the day to achieve that and put myself in a place where I can find that higher vibration. So if you want to find it and feel it and see what it is for you, you're going to have to look for those moments right before you wake up, when your mind is so incredibly clear. You're still dreaming, you're still in sleep, but your
You're in
mind is open,
theta.
your pineal gland is wide open. And I promise you, at that moment, you are beyond the 4 dimensions that we deal with every day in our life, right? You are achieving that 5th dimension.
And I just looked, it's 11:11 right now. You know, so many things. I talk to people about food. If they're eating an organic apple, that's a much higher frequency than if they're eating Cheetos, you know. And when you talk in terms of all the different things, I mean, there's artwork that can bring you down, that will lower your frequency, artwork that can lift you up. I do mandalas that are actually energy devices. So much, everything in our universe is about energy. And
so I want to put it in perspective of music.
Yes.
If you're not convinced that energy and frequency can't change your mood, then you obviously don't listen to music, because a song that I don't like comes on, especially more modern rap and stuff comes on, and boom, it drives me down. I'm in a different state than, I grew up with John Denver and Olivia Newton-John, right?
John Denver, yeah.
It elevates me. So those are the examples I give people when they transition and start to feel their body as an energy source. Sound is it's a physical measurement, it's an energetic measurement, it's a measurement that scientists can get behind. But the response in our body is still undetermined. Nobody quite understands it. And what I tell people is that's the frequencies of that music. That's the frequency of the harmonization of your ears and your eyes and your nose and all your senses coming together such that you get a euphoric response. You will release endorphins, you will release serotonins in your body because you hear that music. Okay. We know this. We know this with color. I can take your mandala and close your eyes and put you in a perfectly dark room, and I can hold your mandala up near that person and measure a biological change without any observation of the senses.
Yep.
We did that, and we designed our products. We looked for things that created a positive biological response without that person knowing that it was even there, in a totally dark room. And I know this is amazing.
Steve, you told me a story about how you were first introduced. Now, yeah, I've got one of Steve's products on my wrist, and it does some really amazing things. But do you want to tell how you actually first got involved?
Sure. So I'm an engineer by education and practice. I designed computer chips for the first, second, and third digital cell phones that were in the marketplace. So I'm very familiar with electromotive forces and what happens down inside computers and the like. But I was traveling on business, and I sat next to a gentleman. His name is Warren Hanchy. And the lady on my left had Meniere's disease. That is a ringing in the ear, really bad. And it throws you off. Your ears hear differently. You're always nauseated. And there's some people who've gone and had surgery just to deafen themselves so they can get past it, right? There's no medical cure for it, but there is energetic cures for it. And I'll tell you how I know that. Because she was nauseated, and he reached over and gave her one of his wristbands he was wearing that he was using for development purposes, and gave it to her. And prior to that, we hadn't even left the gate, and she already had her bag with her and was going to be nauseated and planning on throwing up. He gave it to her. We just about take off, and I'm expecting, here we go. And I'm a compassionate person. I wasn't complaining. I was there for support. And she looked at me and she goes, "What did you do to me? My ringing's gone, my nausea gone." And she, to this day, and whenever she calls, we send her free wristbands because she's my first testament. And Kare, I'm engineering. That's what I said. Bull. Psychosomatic, right? Can't be real. So Warren and I started talking, and I became his development partner, got the rights to bring the product to market way back in 2010, 2012 era. And Warren and I have worked together all the time and looking for ways to find those frequencies that make a difference, create products around those frequencies so we can help the body be better every day. So we have very unique protocols at Body and Line that really address some of the things that most of us have problems with, whether it's pain or sleep or detox. And the biggest one we have now is that EMF protection. How do you give somebody protection from what the body has to go through every day? So I'm a walking testimony to the product.
Gee, even
My friend is,
and
she is
everything.
excited every time we give her the next generation. But she said she hasn't had ringing in the ears since she's worn our bracelet.
Wow, that's really amazing. So talk to me about this. Tell us about this. Because I've been wearing one of these for almost 2 years now. And when I put it on, I've noticed a difference in my energy. And when I take it off at night, it's like, I mean, I notice a difference, and I'm real sensitive to energetics. And I like, if I don't go a day without putting it on.
Well, I like that you take it off at night. The band was, we started doing biology research and look for ways that an acupuncturist and traditional Chinese medicine would handle people that were low energy. We wanted to ramp up the immune system, build a one kind of product. And what we found was the meridians of the wrist, okay, the pericardium, the heart, the liver, and the kidneys are a little farther up the wrist, right? Those things are very sensitive. So we said, let's focus at that. So the wristband was born, the concept of the wristband was born. So we started looking at the biologies. We have 300 frequencies built into this wristband.
Wow.
300. And Q Tesla showed us how to do it. We look for ways of those frequencies to work together. So we use red yeast rice and we use L-arginine and things that are natural molecules, okay, Nobel tested molecules that expand the cardiovascular system. So we'll open up the capillaries, reduce inflammation. We're going to use a frequency to would tend to align the vasovagal nerve between the brain and the spine to keep our energy level high. So the brain isn't trying to put you to sleep and the spine is trying to keep you awake, right? So those two areas need to happen. So I studied what would the acupuncturist do to get that alignment if I was low energy all day long and wanted to expand my immune system and improve my circulatory system. We captured over 300, about exactly 351, I believe, right now. And what we also did, because we're very worried about EMS, these electromotive forces or frequencies.
Sitting in front of my computer and my phones and my all this energetic stuff that I have.
So we put crystals of tourmaline and shungite and organite in the actual band. So there are crystals built in there that specifically focus at what's happened at the cellular level to repair the damage. So when you're bombarded with EMS, that vibration that's coming through, that energy that's coming through, tends to lock up the cells so that nutrition through the ATP channel, through the channels in and out of our myocardia, get locked up and they don't allow the free flow. So this helps to open that back up and allow us to heal, getting that nutrition back in, oxygen back in and out of the cells. So we've, that's a well-known fact. We just help make it, administer it.
Are you guys listening to this? Do you understand what he's saying? I mean, this little band with 300 different powerful frequencies are helping your body to function at higher levels on all different levels, and also protecting the body on all different levels.
Amen. Well, let me put it back in perspective for him. If you have sufficient magnesium in your body at the chemical layer, that doesn't mean your body can work with it. It's bioavailable. But if your DNA, if the cells that use that to reproduce and to provide the function that they're supposed to, if they don't know that it's there or they're not signaled by the DNA to use it, it just sits there and it floats right on by. Our DNA has a chemical reaction, has an energetic or electrical reaction, and has an energetic reaction. The electricity that sparks our heart to make it beat. Clearly, we see that every day. We know there's a chemical. Energetic is the way the DNA communicates to the cells and say, reproduce, do your function, make some insulin, do this, do that. The brain and the spine are controlling all that with those channels that Chinese call them meridians. Okay, these highways that run through the body. The Indians call them chakras, that all keep the body in balance so these cells are happening. And that's what we do, is we provide that signaling to tell the cells that there is a magnesium is there and sodium is there and L-arginine is there to start using it up.
Well, and we live in toxic soup. We are getting bombarded from toxins from our air, our food, our water. Our blood is dirty. Our immune system is suppressed because of all these low frequency energies. Things like virus, bacteria, fungus, mold, chemicals, pesticides, glyphosates, heavy metals, radiation, chemtrails, spike protein, all this stuff that goes into that's suppressing everything. And here's something that can actually lift it up.
Yep, we reverse that. If you have an afternoon fog, many people describe their day to me when I talk I do a lot of wellness seminars, and I'll say, how many of you have a headache by noon every day? Almost everybody raises their hand. How many people don't sleep well at night? Everybody raises their hand. Okay, how many people have that fog that they got to get up and walk around, go to the vending machine, grab a Snickers bar, grab a cup of coffee to try to put their head back in because it's
all that low frequency stuff that doesn't really work.
Yeah, think about all the Wi-Fi routers, thinking about their cell phone, think about the things that are bombarding them, and the vapors coming from the carpets in their offices, right?
Yeah.
All these things push the body down to a much lower state of wellness. So the body's capable of managing all of it. We just need to turn it on, get it rebooted, I call it, where the energetic connections between our cells and our organs are turned back on. So now we can get our bodies better. I'll give you one example. EMFs tend to raise the acidity, lower the pH in our blood.
Absolutely.
They do that as a natural reaction to how those frequencies hit the red blood cells, right? Well, as the acidity goes up, red blood cells are iron. Iron dissolves in acidic environments. Mm-hmm. So what happens is two red blood cells float along, and if they get sticky, they stick together. Well, we went from this surface area and this surface area, this surface area, this surface area to move oxygen in and out of our cells. What happens if I do this? I've now taken that surface area from 4 to 2.
Yeah.
What if I took another one and stuck here?
Yeah, they get rouleau, and it's like a whole stack of.
They clump together and they're useless. The ones in the middle are useless.
Absolutely.
And we see this with dark field microscopy. You can put a drop of blood, watch it on the dark field, and watch these things start to clump. Watch our blood cells.
So if you bring one of these close to that, what happens?
You see it on our videos at bodyline.com. You can see on the videos, you hold it there within seconds, you can see these red blood cells go from very spiky looking, very thin and almost emaciated, right? Where they push all the fluids out of them. They get really like a corona, like we see a drop of water and how it sparks up. Well, that's what you see. Yeah. And then as this product is near that, what you see is those cells start to pucker and they separate, and you see the movement of the white blood cells in your back. This is a science of what we can show you, and you can see it on a video. And you can anybody can do it for you. You can go to any dark field microscopist in the country, and they're all over, especially naturopaths. We'll take that drop, put it on there, show you what's bad, and use products like ours to re-energize you.
Oh, and all of you who have pets, I don't have a band around my dog's leg. I have a little tag, kind of like this, only it's what's this little chip under there. That goes around my dog's neck, and I don't take that off at night though. But
that's fine, because that's a more balancer. We worked with some acupuncturists that focus at small mammals, and that's how that product was developed. It's not the same formulation here. In there, I put some jujus, some frequencies that should repel fleas and ticks, or just make your dog less or cat less excited about it. Okay, they're going to get close and go, no, something's wrong with this.
And does this protect them from EMFs too?
Yeah, it does. The rubber is loaded with shungite, and so it gives them a natural. They certainly are.
I have shungite right there.
There you are. They certainly are more immune to EMFs, best we can tell, than as humans, right? But that little pendant that we have, you can take it off at night if the dog's, you don't like the collar. You have to have a collar, right, when you do that.
Yeah, I don't take his collar off at night, her collar.
So you wouldn't. Yeah. This is going to lower their pain, increase their energy, just put them back in energy balance. And I've done this experiment a lot. Dogs are zero psychosomatic effect, right? You know if you love them or not. right? They know if
Right.
even if you're a stranger and you try to pet them, they're going to bite their hand because they don't know that it's from an energy that they can appreciate, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You think they sense your smell or your height? No, they sense the energetic
Energy.
imprint that you've given them. So the next
Absolutely.
time you see that dog, there'll be a closer and a closer, and he'll connect your energy, okay, your unique energy to his imprinting in his brain, and you'll eventually solve that problem. The dog ain't going to try to bite you. But
Yeah.
I love to demonstrate that. But because they're not psychosomatic, if you got a dog with arthritis or just
Mhm.
low energy, try it. They don't even know you're doing it to them, and you're going to notice a difference. I've
I
had
noticed a
families that just
difference
come home
when
from college. They're
I
going, "What'd you do to our dog?"
I bought Christmas presents for all of my relatives, the bands and the dog tags and these. See that pretty little thing on the back of my phone? You want to talk about that?
Absolutely.
I mean, I talk on my phone all day long, and it's like that has really worried me. And so this is a protection from my phone.
Yeah,
Can
so let
you
me talk about that.
about
When I
that?
left Texas Instruments years ago, I left the group that did up to 3G. And when 4G was coming on, cell phone technology, and 5G were coming, I was already retired and was doing okay doing my research at Body Align. So I was looking for a way to bet because I knew that when we designed pagers in the day in first and second generation,
Yeah.
we modeled the human body as an antenna for us.
Oh,
Okay. This is a beautiful antenna, right? It's got a ton of surface area, it's got iron
yeah.
inside it. And we could use the vibrational response of the body to help us
Mhm.
signal with the AM based pagers that we used to have in the first generation of cell phones. So I want you to know that we used your body so you could have a better call. That's why sometimes you see people waving their arms and I got it now, I can hear you now. Don't move because your body is a major source of the communication path to a cell tower. Well, I started worrying about all that. So my research led me down the path of what can I do? Well, I'm an EMF expert. Okay. We designed for the purpose of using EMFs to communicate, but at the same time, unfortunately we're hurting the body. And I wanted to understand that better. So on my career left me in a path of what's going on? Do I stop the EMF waves from hitting you? Which would be really nice. Or do I do something on the biology side so it doesn't impact you? Well,
Mhm.
it's not practical to walk around in a Faraday cage, dragging a chain, keeping you grounded, right? So all these energies would go. And if you picked up your phone and you're in a Faraday cage, guess what would happen? Nothing, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing
Yeah.
because all the energy is being absorbed before it gets to your
Yeah.
phone. So anybody that tells you a device that says it stops EMF waves and you put it on your phone and your phone still works, I have to call BS on it because phone wouldn't work without EMF waves hitting it, emitting and absorbing those EMF waves. So I couldn't change that. If not, you wouldn't be able to enjoy the sound of your loved one's voice.
So what does this do then?
I went to the body and says, what's going on in the body? How can I reverse what's happening?
Mhm.
Right? What would Chinese medicine do in order to get the body back to normal? So I gave it an instant, my mind was an instant shock of EMS. What happens in the body and what would I do to respond to drain that back out of the body?
Yeah.
Now I can tell you, you can go walk on beautifully clean concrete. Good. It's grounding. I wouldn't walk in grass because most today there's enough pesticides and herbicides on grass, fertilizers and stuff
Not
that
on
can
my
absorb.
lawn. Not
No,
on
I
my
wouldn't do it. I would walk in rock or
uh
concrete,
huh.
or we can signal to the body. And that's what this product was, is a way to allow your phone to work, okay, and stop the negative reaction in the body. So the body, the cells were starting to, let's say, throw up and they weren't feeling good and they couldn't get oxygen in and out.
Yeah.
This product would raise the pH up by getting the liver and the kidneys to communicate to dump magnesium and calcium and sodium in
Yeah.
to raise the alkalinity, raise the pH up. So now your blood is going back to normal. All the
Yeah.
EMS are hitting it all day long.
I am.
We've tested a 6 to 8 foot radius with these. So if you have earbuds, this is in your pocket or in your purse, you're good, right? You don't need to have them on every individual device. You just need to have them within 6 to 8 foot proximity. So I
Wow.
focused at and give Chinese was a way to make an impact in the body using frequency, right? That we've
Yeah.
talked about in order to stop the damage that was happening from EMF waves.
I love it. I love your explanations. I just put these on and go, Well, I know they're working because I feel good. So this is kind of taking it to the next level.
Yeah. When people that I don't know or aren't engaged with me to learn, they ask, how does it work? And I go, fantastic.
Uh,
It's certainly complex, but when I break it down, I think most people start to say, at least it makes sense. At least we're connecting it to the physics and to the science that we already have. And now I'm extending it to the way it can impact my body.
Energy, frequency, and
Vibration.
vibration. That's what it's all about. Steve, thank you so much. This has been inspiring. And I know this is going to help a lot of people to understand that there are things that you can do that can protect us from this polluted environment that we live in, that can give our bodies more energy
Amen
and
to that.
protection.
I'm very fortunate. And we have a large family of products, and I'd love to get back with you and we'll talk about more.
Oh,
How do
yep,
we
there's
get
a
back to
lot
the
more.
body? How do we help you sleep? How do we help relieve pain? And I love to get back with you and go through all those, how they work, what frequencies that we use and why, what's that biology that we're after,
Great.
and ways for people to better understand it. And maybe they can seek out the difference between medical treatment and wellness treatment, right? And I separate them because medicine has a role. They're wonderful diagnosticians. They're horrible repair mechanisms, right?
Yeah.
And us natural frequency people go, we can get you back to a great state of life without having to put you through the chemical management in your body that the pharmaceutical companies are trying to do.
Yeah, well, I'm all about natural healing and energy
Amen.
medicine. And so here we are. This is like a beautiful synergy of what we both do. So thank you so much
Thank you, Miss
for
Kare. You have a
sharing all
blessed
of
day.
that. And we'll do this again because I'm sure that people that I've been talking with want to know about the rest of your products as well.
Fantastic. And they can find us at bodyline.com. You have a unique discount code for them to go to.
Yeah, I do. I'm going to give them that. So excellent. Thank you so much.
You have a blessed day,
Thanks,
Miss Kare.
Steve. Thank you. I know.